Nigel, just looking at Christmas for the North audience, how are you viewing this period?
Very busy period for us now. Obviously, I think everyone appreciates the festive period. It should be festive, you know, but we've got some really tough games coming up, close together. Today's Thursday. We had a real good training session today again. The lads are in good spirits. They're working hard. We've got players who have been injured, returning back on the training ground. We have to make the right calls now because the games are going to come in close succession, just to make sure that we'll utilise the whole squad. I would imagine that players, the last thing we want them to do is to break down. So we've got a good sports science and medical team here. So we galvanise that information, gather that information as well, to just give ourselves the right situation to try and make sure we can get the players through the games, but to the level that we require, because we've got tough games. It starts with Swansea at the weekend. They're going to be tough games with close recovery, short recovery in between. And we know we've got to be right at the top of our game to continue the good form that we're in.
Will you give the players Christmas Day off?
Interesting one. Over the years, you know, it's been a real interesting one, this one, where sometimes you've had them in and then you've got to beat the next day. You know, I use an example when we were at Scunthorpe. We were in Christmas Day, we travelled, we stayed overnight at Middlesbrough. I think you do all the right things, and then Cliffy Byrne, God bless him, gives a penalty away in the first minute. He gets sent off, they score the penalty, and that was really, really tough. There's other times we've been in, we've played teams in a different club, played a team in the Championship, and we were in, we've travelled, we stayed overnight, we do all of that. He gave their team the day off. They've gone and beat us 1-0, and he's actually gone. Giving them the day off is actually give them that little bit more, if you like, motivation that I've really got to, because we've had the day off, really, you know, give everything you've got that next day. So over the years, we've tried many different things. Many managers have done the same thing. The emotional side of it is important, I think, because it is, you do have family, you do have time is a precious thing that you can give somebody. Yes, you can give people money, but sometimes time with family can be invaluable. We've got a good spirit here at the football club. We've got really good professionals who work hard. So we always try and plan a month in advance so everybody can organise their lives particularly. So earlier on in the month schedule, the players knew that they will be having Christmas Day off in preparation for Preston. So we're not in the training ground, but it doesn't mean that they won't prepare themselves, because we've got really good pros at this football club.
How did you make your decision then this year?
A lot of debate, a lot of organisation, obviously doing it in advance. Having the mental side of it right is an important thing for that bit of motivation. I just thought maybe that little bit of an extra motivation to kick on, that we can do it. It's not as if we've got to go and stay overnight in a hotel. We can do it. We can be organised with the home recovery, because let's face it, game day -1, there's actually very limited physical activity you actually go and do in the preparation. We have enough organisation that we do. We go to a lot of detail in our preparation, so that's not an issue. With the staff, we just sit down. I just came to the conclusion that's probably going to be the best thing. And then when on the back of that, you look at the run of form that we've been on, is that one extra little bit of motivation that helps people, because we've got a real good spirit.
All games are important, but over the Christmas period, many people will look at the Leeds game as being the highlight. Why do you feel that might be one to relish this year?
I think, well, you're right. All the games are going to be really good to look forward to. We've got Swansea at home, the one just before at our Christmas home game. So they were in the Premier League last season. They'll be looking to bounce back at the first attempt. So we know it's going to be a tough game. They play good football. So we know it's going to be a tough game. However, we're in good form, so we should look at that game that we're looking to go and win it. And then we got a very tough one on Boxing Day away at Preston. We battered them at our place earlier on in the season, but it's about taking your chances. So, and they've been in a good run of form as well, so we know it's going to be tough. And then likewise, the Christmas game away at Ellen Road, Leeds flying at this moment in time. It'll be a passionate crowd, so it'll be a good atmosphere. And I said when we played them earlier on in the season, although we lost the game 1-0 with their only long-range shot on target during that game, that they, for me, were the best team that we'd played in the division. So we know it's going to be a tough game. But it should be one that we should look forward to, and a good atmosphere. That's what what you want, isn't it? You know, the festive period, that everyone to just go and enjoy going to a game, an occasion. And from my point of view, I see our team totally committed, working so hard for each other. Sometimes it goes against you, but we've demonstrated we can respond from adversity. And everyone's working really hard with a good camaraderie, so it's another game we can look forward to.
Nigel, injuries. Reece Burke, is he back training?
Reece has trained today, Jordi Davies has trained today, Evandro's trained today. Eric Lee has not been with the group, but he's been on the grass training. So we've got a lot of players who are back. We had 23 outfield players today, because obviously we have some of the youngsters up with us as well. So that's pleasing that we've got more players wanting to get back into the team. On the pitch, as I said, I just have to make the decision now on how much training they've actually got. Although they're back into the training group. So, for example, John Terrell has been training for the last 10 days, nearly 2 weeks. Is he still ready at a level where he can go and play? Same as Evandro, and at the level that we're looking for him to go and perform in. But as it's just been, we just talked about there. There's a lot of games that we're going to play in a short space of time over the Christmas period, the festive period, and we've got to make sure that we use that information to give ourselves every opportunity, that we don't want to have to be making substitutions at half-time, which is what we've gone and done in the last couple of games.
Because Eric hasn't joined in yet, do you think Saturday will come too soon?
Well, we'll see. When we finish the media here, we'll go and sit down with the medical team and go through everybody again. That's how we like to do it. And just wait and see. But you know, Todd Kane's been playing well. Stephen Kingsley's just come back from his injury period. We give him a little bit longer as well, and he played on Saturday in a team that kept a clean sheet.
Barring any complications, though, you'd expect Burke and Device to be available.
They can, well, because they've trained today. They've trained today for the first time with the main group. That means that they're going to be closer. But likewise, from my point of view, what I don't want to do is maybe risk somebody and then they break down again, because both of them have had little niggles so far. But likewise, we'll wait and see. You know.
Has Andre Mazuk negated the need to rush anyone back?
Well, again, Andre's trained well this morning. I'm really pleased. You know, he was in a team that kept a clean sheet last week. So, but likewise, I'm also mindful that, you know, Andre's previous history, we don't want to put him in jeopardy either. At the moment, there's nothing that says yes, he's got any issues at all. But likewise, we're going to get games that are going to come in a short recovery period in between them over the festive period. I can envisage that we will be utilising the squad over the course of those games.
James Weir played for the 23s Monday, Tuesday. How did he do, and what's the plan for James?
Very good. Really pleased for James as an individual. Obviously, to be out for more than a year that he has been, that can be, you know, your mental resolve to deal with that situation has to be strong, and he's done that. He's come through it. He's been training with the first team group for a couple of weeks now, and Monday against Sheffield Wednesday played 60 minutes against them for our under 23s, and he acquitted himself really well. He went for got a couple of good tackles. You know, I've been really impressed with James in the couple of weeks we've got him. He's been back in with the first team group. But we know that from a plan point of view, he needs several more games to build up to it and a longer period of training with us before he's in a position to be with the first team, to start or be on the bench for the first team. But at least he's moving in the right direction.
Could be a big 6 months for him being out of contract at the end of the season, couldn't it? He'll know that as well.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah. I mean, so we're really pleased that he's taken the first steps. He's gone and played 60 minutes, you know, 75 minutes, 90 minutes, put a series of games together. Regular on the training ground. That just builds a level of fitness and robustness to deal with the demands that are going to be coming his way.
You spoke about demands earlier on and what players will face over the next 10 days. Do you think anyone will play all 4 games, or will you rotate?
We'll see. Now, obviously, we've got the FA Cup game then down at Millwall. So, you know, we'll just see. We'll take it as it comes. I think everybody will expect that there will be changes within it. It'll be unlikely that you've got the same team for every game. But who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But what we have got is a group of players have shown that they're totally committed. They're working the socks off for each other. And whoever's stepped in and has got that shirt at that particular time, he's got the full support and backing of everybody else, because they all know that he could be the next one who goes in.
January is coming. Tommy Elphick, have you had any chats with Villa and to suggest he might be recalled, or would you now expect him to stay?
We've had from our point of view, Villa have not shown any. They've not made any calls to us to say that they want him back. You know, Tommy's here. He's doing well. He's enjoying it. We have actually got a recruitment meeting after the medical meeting this afternoon, so we'll have a couple of hours this afternoon, because again the January window it's a great window for speculation. Things go on, so many things are so far-fetched it's untrue, but we have to keep our finger on the pulse of what's going on. You know, I'd like to keep the group of players that we've got together. Might one or two leave? Maybe. That's football, you know. There's an evolution that goes on. Can we bring somebody in? We'll have to see where the finances dictate, and whether the players that we want to bring in are available. That's the other side of it. So I think it'll be fluid. It'll be fluid. Things will be moving around, and we'll just have to wait and see. Basically, is what the answer. Notoriously, things might get done in the first day, but most deals get done in January in the last 2 days when there's that mad, big, frantic panic up. So we might have to be reactionary in respect of you just don't know. A big bid might come in for a player, and you know all parties are happy with that, and a player then goes, and then where does the finances go with that one? Can we then go and reinvest? We'll have to wait and see. So it could just be a moving situation that we react to. But likewise, as I said, we're aware of a lot of players that are out there, players that we've been tracking, that might keep improving the group, and we'll just have to see what happens.
Just on Tommy, he's been such an influential figure very quickly, hasn't he? You've had an ever-changing defence in the last month, but he's the one constant. He's been very influential for you, hasn't he? He's
been excellent since he's come here. I mean, him and Chris Martin, I'll be honest with you, two experienced players who have come in on loan, and they've been excellent. The way they've spoke to everybody, the level of professionalism, how supportive they've been to everybody. I mean, Tommy's playing, Chrissy Martin played, come out, he's been on the bench. He is so supportive of everybody. I can't speak highly enough about both of them.
Are there any players that you see surplus to requirements if you have to sell to buy? Do you see members of your squad that you would happily...
I've just to clarify, I'm not saying we need to sell.
No.
You know what I mean? It's one of them. But I'm just saying something might happen, then you've got to react to it. So we're not saying, right, we've got to sell players. We don't need to do that. The insurances I've got from the owner is we can just carry on as we are. That's what we're doing. We're working through that one. But as I said, the January window is a window that you just have to be able to react to situations that happen. As I said, we're trying to do as much research as we can and preparation, so if something happens, then we are in a position to go and react. But we'll just have to wait and see where that is.
You haven't had much money to spend as Hull City head coach in 2 windows previously. Do you anticipate a similar sort of theme? Well,
it's football. I mean, from my point of view, all I can do is say that we've got a really good working environment at the football club. Players enjoy coming into work. They work extremely hard. On the pitch, you can see the camaraderie that's there. We've got some good run of form at this moment in time. We need that to continue. And from my point of view, it is what it is. You know, I've wanted to buy. You know, you recommend players. That's football. Get on with it. I'm not going to sit here and whinge. It's what it is. You know, the buzzword in the summer was sustainability. The owner said he's trying to sell the football club. Whether that happens or doesn't happen, who knows? You know, I'm the experience that I've had in football is to do your job and keep it all the things that we do right in the process of preparing for games as best as we can. The mental side of keeping people's confidence up, because when things, for example, when things aren't going great, it's quite easy for confidence to drop. It's how you keep everybody going. So there's different ways to do that. We just alluded to one thing about the Christmas day. You know, having a day off can actually help lift spirits and a bit of spark, because we do work extremely hard and we demand of the players, and they do work long hours in the football world.
Because this seems to be all moving in the right direction now, the team, one defeat in 8, it's all coming together seemingly. Do you worry about January and the negative impact it could possibly have, should transfers happen?
Well, that's the reality of it. I look at the positive side of it, that if we can keep players, then we've got a team that's moving in the right direction. The positive side of it, if somebody is sold for big money, then the positive side of it is hopefully that money then gets reinvested. So instead of looking at the negative side of the January window, I'm trying to look at it from a positive point of view and how we can react in a positive manner to the situations that might arise.
Just a final one. The two are intertwined, takeover and budget. Have you got any sort of clarity now on what your budget will be for January?
We're not in a position where we're going to go out and spending money at this moment in time. It's, as I said, we'll see what materialises. But maybe in the past, where you've gone, right, we're going to go and put X amount of pound and go and sign players. We tried to sign players in the summer, they didn't materialise from where that was. So I'm not envisioning that we're going to go out and be spending money on transfer fees at this present moment in time. But that's not to say that won't happen.
Have you got any targets lined up that are ready to go on January the 1st that we don't know about? Have you?
Listen, we'll see. I think it's one of them. Until people sign a piece of paper, you don't know. But yeah, we want to put ourselves in a position where we can just keep improving all the time. The one thing is you need to have something to have that base of players you've got to keep improving. Now it might be one or two players who have maybe not figured for a long period of time. It might be beneficial for them to maybe go out on loan. If you change that wages from them coming off the wage bill, then you might be able to do something else. We've got 2 loan players that we can bring in, 2 loan slots, because we've had so many players already. But likewise, we'd rather try and buy a player or have a player permanently than on loan, if we can. And likewise, we've got to make sure there's a pathway for the youth team. So, and we've seen that, several of them have been involved, which is great. And if you're going to bring somebody in, is that then going to stop, a player's development where we are? Because then that might be that young player might have to go out and loan himself, because you're not careful, he's then not getting his potential game time and training time.